Hello, family. Boy, it's been a while since I did a video. Well, with the holidays and everything, it got a little crazy. But I'm back. Happy New Year. I know Christmas season's over, but Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. It's good to be back on the video or on the whatever again. And so a lot of people have been asking me about my most recent trip to Rome. That's where I was when I was away on vacation. I have a classmate who's studying over there, so I went to visit him and we did some pretty amazing things in Rome. So I thought I'd talk about a little bit about some of the things we saw and did. And so one of the first things we did was we visited St. Mary's in Trastevere. St. Mary's is one of the oldest churches in Rome. And Trastevere is a neighborhood that has, to be honest, really good restaurants. So it's kind of a nice area with shops and restaurants. But this church in particular kind of stands out. St. Mary's is one of the oldest in Rome. Some parts of it are first century, but there's beautiful mosaics there. And it was one of the things I wanted to do when I got to Rome. My friend asked me, what are the one of the things you want to do? And I said I wanted to go to St. Mary's in Trastevere. So this is the dome of St. Mary's. It's an all mosaic, which is pretty rare, to be honest. Most of the domes in Rome are murals or paintings of some sort, but this one is a mosaic. So tiny little tiles make up those pictures on the ceiling. So it's a really kind of beautiful church. So we went and we visited there. And of course, while we were there, we had some really good food. I think I had meatballs that day, and he had some type of pasta, but it was really delicious. And a good afternoon. Then we went to Trastevere, is very close to Vatican, and St. Peter's Basilica. So we went to check out the manger at the Vatican, and it is also, I'm sure if you've seen pictures in the news, very beautiful. It's kind of a depiction of St. Francis of Assisi, kind of he actually created the first outdoor nativity display back in the 600s or 500s, whenever he was around. So it's kind of a depiction of that. It's very beautiful. You could probably Google it and get a better picture than my photography. There was also a display I didn't take pictures, but around the outside of the square, there were nativities from all over the world that were collected and on display. That was very beautiful as well. We also visited the church. I think it's St. Sylvester. I'm not 100% sure where this sculpture is. It's called the Ecstasy of St. Teresa of Avila. And it was done by a famous sculptor. I want to say Bertolini, but I could be wrong. But as a famous Italian sculptor did the Ecstasy of St. Teresa of Avila. And so that's what that is. That is very pretty. That was kind of an unplanned thing that my friend took me to. But I think probably one of the most, before we get to that, we'll go to... I posted this on Facebook, so we spent some time at St. Mary Major, one of the major basilicas in Rome, and this is the altar that I prayed the rosary at for the parish, the diocese, and our bishop. It is the altar that the Pope goes to right before and right after he goes on retreat. So he begins and ends his retreats praying at this altar at St. Mary Major Basilica. So it's very beautiful, and we prayed there too, me and my friend that was there. St. Mary's Major Basilica is also home to a relic of the manger, which is in this reliquary under the altar of St. Mary Major. So it's very you can't really see the wood in there, but it's relic of the manger of Jesus' nativity. So kind of cool at St. Mary Major. So that was pretty fun. I always go visit St. Alphonse Liguori Church when I'm there. I grew up in a Redemptorist parish, and so I love to see the original Our Lady of Perpetual Help icon, which is in that church. So we went there and prayed for a little bit. But probably the most exciting event I think of the week was Mass at St. Peter's Basilica with the Pope. And so that was really quite an honor. And it was not a last minute thing, but a few weeks before the trip, I asked Father Panji, who was going to visit, could we have Mass with the Pope on January 1st, Mary Mother of the Church? And so he sent me a website where I registered, got approved, received a ticket, and then I had to take the ticket to the Vatican, show it with an ID, and then they let us say Mass with the Pope. So this is me and Father Panji Zhen. He's a priest of Beijing Diocese in China, and we said Mass together at St. Peter's Basilica. He's a classmate from St. Vincent Seminary in Latrobe, if you're wondering how I know a priest from China. That is here. And then here's the crowd, just so you can get an idea, that did not get into the Basilica for Mass and waited outside afterwards for the Pope. He came out and greeted everyone kind of on the steps. Crazy crowds of people were there that day. It was really, again, like, just to give you, I was 2 rows from the Pope's chair, presider's chair. Kind of amazing, really overwhelmed, praying at Mass for everybody at home and the diocese and the bishop, and kind of looking at, I don't know if you look, but right past the altar is the stained glass of the Holy Spirit, and, kind of just praying like, Father, are we getting this right? I hope we're getting this right, and that we're reaching the people we need to reach, and, showing your love the way we need to be showing it. And so just kind of, that was an overwhelming emotion that came across me as I was at Mass there, looking at all the bishops and cardinals and being so close to the leader of our faith, the Pope. And it was just kind of a really amazing experience. You can actually, my director is telling me, you can actually, if you want to watch the Mass, just go to YouTube and you can Google, search January 1st Mass with Pope, and it will come up and you can watch it. If you want to get a really good picture of me, I make a fool of myself during the offertory procession. You can go on Facebook too, it's there. But I make a big fool of myself during the offertory procession as the gifts are coming up. I turn around to see who's bringing the gifts up, and it's 3 little kids dressed like the 3 kings, and I kind of drop my jaw, and they kind of capture that in YouTube form. So that's probably the best shot of me. But after the Mass is over, when the Pope, he kind of processes out through the people outside, and then we follow him. He walks right by me. Literally, I could have smacked his shoulder. That's how close he was to me. It was really kind of a little overwhelming, and really an amazing and blessed experience to be able to do that. Rest of the trip, we visited St. Andrew's Church, which is really beautiful. I love the murals there. Just so we all know, as a good German, I did have pork and sauerkraut for New Year's Day. It was really delicious. There's a restaurant very close to the Vatican that Pope Benedict used to frequent called Cantilena Tyrolese. So I'm giving a little pitch for it. But they serve all German, Austrian food. So it was very, very delicious. So really that's all. I mean, that's kind of how the week went. We visited a lot of churches. I went to the Castle of Holy Angels. And if anyone knows history of Rome, the Castle of Holy Angels is the defense of the Pope. So if the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica gets attacked by an army or whatever, there's a tunnel that leads from the Vatican to the Castle of Holy Angels. And then it's a very thick-walled fortress to protect the Pope during a siege of the Vatican if that were to ever happen. So I took a tour of that. That was pretty fun. I'd never, always walked by it 100 times, but never been in it. So that was really great. Another one of I have a lot of favorite churches in Rome. St. Mary's of Holy Angels and Martyrs is a beautiful church. It's over near the American Embassy, and so it's kind of close to there. So we went and visited there, and every church that we went to, we would walk around and look at the beauty, and then we would sit and spend 10 or 15 minutes, praying the rosary or some kind of prayers in each church. So it was really a kind of a prayerful thing we did at every church. So it was a great trip, but it's good to be home and back in the parish to get things going for the new year. I'm kind of rejuvenated about re-emphasizing our mission and purpose as a parish, to introduce people to the one we love, Jesus, and together follow him, right? Those are really big kind of what we should be doing here. And doing that through our purpose, right? To gather, connect, serve, and go out. I really want to give a good emphasis on those two things this year to make them come alive in our church and our family. And I know we have the Spirit within us to do that. So again, thank you for this little chat about Rome and my visit and my goals for this new year. So God bless everyone. Have a great weekend. I love you all. Bye-bye.